Hello everybody, my name is Michael, and we're going to be continuing this playthrough of Dark Souls 2 by taking out the trash. You may remember in the Undead Crypt we picked up something called the Crushed Eye Orb, and the Crushed Eye Orb is tipping us off that Lycia of Lindelt is the traitor that has been invading us. However, the fact that she's called a traitor is a little peculiar because, I mean, is anyone really for or against each other here? In Dark Souls 1, it was kind of a free-for-all. Everybody's trying to kill everybody else and be nasty, and, I don't really like Lycia's storyline at all. She's pretty terrible. I also don't like her outfit. It looks kind of ridiculous to me, especially when you wear it. It doesn't look much like a saint's dress of any kind, but oh well. In Dark Souls 1, there was a similar storyline about finding a crushed eye orb and invading the world of a murderous bastard, but that was much better because he was clearly a savage, almost deranged killer who made you hate him because of the agony he put you through if you did not kill him before he killed someone very, very important to you. So you had more of a motivation to do it. Here I just don't care. But I'm going to do it anyway. Now we're going to invade her world as a Red Phantom, and she is absolutely brutal. She has very powerful spells: Wrath of the Gods, Lightning, Spear, Heavenly Thunder. She does a whole lot of damage, and this may not go well because we just have this tiny little room to work in, and of course she can heal, which is the worst possible thing. She can freaking heal, so you can do tons of damage and then come back, and then nothing. So, although I'm kind of curious to see what happens if you die, because I don't think I have died to her, although I've come very, very close. Maybe does she go away, or is she normal to you when you... Oh, she just hits you with her chime, which is a little strange. Oh, you see? And I'm going to try to do this, but she's getting close to healing. Boy, I don't really like invasions much at all anyway. That guy looks like he must be fighting Lycia too. No, don't follow up. See, that was healing her. Oh my god, she barely even got that off, and that counted? That's such bullcrap. Thank the Lord. And now we get all of her stuff, including the lockstone that was using this. I don't know why that's important, because you just need to do it one time, and you can automatically warp to the bonfire. I mean, it doesn't matter. Maybe in an early version of the game where you couldn't warp between bonfires, it was important, but, that must have been something done early on. So what's the point here exactly? Having trouble figuring that out. And you also get all of her clothes and her chime, which is a unique chime that actually scales badly with lightning, which is the, primary miracle. But it scales very highly with dark, which is supposed to make us think that she's evil. Which I guess she is, but I don't even really care about her half-hearted attempts to murder me, because she did such a bad job of it. Let's go and see if we can fight Sin, the Slumbering Dragon. Sin has a gigantic spear embedded in his chest called Yours Spear, as I mentioned many times, that we can actually get if we trade in his soul with, I believe, Ornifex? This is Transcendent Ed. He's another one of the Dragon Covenant who's trying to transform himself into a dragon. You can get all of that gear eventually if you join the Dragon Covenant. I love Transcendent Ed. This is a woman named Abbess Fiva. She is obviously by the name Abbess what is it now? Think of it. A faith-based character, a sort of religious person. This fight is very, very difficult, and oh dear sweet lord, I almost forgot something. Equipment breakage. This is the worst fight in the entire game for equipment breakage. Go left when you go in, by the way, because there's a ring over there you should get, called Yours Ring. This guy is a beast. He's one of the toughest bosses in the game, although I think Alana is tougher. He gives you no room to screw around. You can destroy his tail, which is kind of nice, but that's about it. He flies around. He's not like Calamite. This guy will really fly significantly. We are in a cavern, however, but still. And his fire is devastating. He leaves clouds of poison all over the place. He spins around to do incredible amounts of damage. You constantly have to keep moving in the fight. Not moving directly into his face there, though. I have to, I have to stress. It's a tough fight. It really challenged me when I first came in here. It challenges me still, too, which is great. It's a fight you can't ever really get perfectly good at, which I do enjoy. You know, it's sort of like, it reminds me, and he can drop down on you and do lots of damage. See? But more damage than that. I got lucky there. This is going to be a tough fight. It's unfortunate I'm using so much Estus. You can cut his tail off, which prevents him from doing a sort of spinning tail maneuver. So that's kind of useful. But you pretty much have to have a big, heavy weapon in order to cut it off. It's not easy to do it otherwise. I keep missing the first swing on that follow-up. The reason I wrote Repair Powder was that, for some reason, maybe because he's like made of... He looks almost like he's made of stone to me a bit. He just attacking him automatically does greater than normal equipment breakage. And so you really have to pay attention to that. And by the end of the fight, if you didn't bring equipment breakage, a repair powder, you're going to have to switch weapons at a very delicate moment. Oh, darn it. I hate that. That's why I hated the Tower Knight in Demon Souls. Because him just moving backwards hurts you. There's something about that I find somewhat distasteful. I do not care for that. Transcendent Ed tends to die before we finally defeat him, but he can make it to the end. He has before, which is why I brought him along. But Abbess Phoebe's heals are kind of shit. If we cut off his tail, he will not be able to do that attack, obviously, which is a good reason to try and cut that oh, yeah. This was something they failed at miserably in DS2. In Dark Souls 1, they added a little secret in the game, in that every time you cut off a dragon's tail, you got an item. You automatically got a special item. Were any of them good items? Well, you know, a couple of them were. Most of them were kind of shit. But, you know, the fact that you could just, you had that secret there, and it was a challenging secret, especially getting the Moonlight Greatsword. That was, oh boy, he's doing it behind. I forgot he could do that. Oh, Taiki is on my side tonight, because I need a lot of luck to avoid that blast. Oh boy, this is no good. This is no good. Oh, thank the Lord. I think Ed has been flasking, so that's nice. Come here, you beast. Ooh. Ooh! Shit. Oh, thank the Lord. Alright. Go after Ed. Ed is useful to bring along because you make the dragon lose aggro. And I just like Ed. Something about him. I don't want to go into that poison cloud. That's why I kind of stayed. See, he does that little spin, but it's nowhere near as powerful as it was because he ain't got no tail. And if you look at the place where the tail was, it's this really kind of funny, cartoonish, like meat thing with a bit of bone in it. I really enjoy that. I think that looks pretty cool. Run! Oh, I hate that we're blocked by the wing like that. Oh, but we can damage the wing. Fuck yeah. Suck it, Sin. Suck it. Yeah. Nice. That's considerably harder if you don't have a big fuck off greatsword type weapon. And we got the first of the 3 crowns. That is ultimately our goal in all of these places, to gather the crowns of the 3 kings of the area. And we get a special, faint heat lingers in the ancient crown. Where is it? No, that's not it. Crown of the Sunken King. Here he is. I can see how you would want to wear this crown for sort of a cosplay build, or just to sort of say, fuck you, I did this. I won. This is Yor's ring, and it has a very interesting property to it. Sometimes deflects spells, and what that means is that it will randomly deflect spells that enemies shoot out at you. If you're fighting against a player character who's using a lot of spells, that can be useful. And the only area in the game I think that it is useful is, can you guess it? What area of the game where deflecting spells that are coming at you be useful? Where would that be? That's right. It is the Shrine of Amana. I've taken that into the Shrine of Amana a couple of times with that ring. It really does help, especially because there are more Shrine Maidens in New Game Plus, and it just makes the area feel considerably easier if you go through it that way. I really like going through it with that ring. It's not perfect because it's random if it deflects a spell, so it's only occasional, but sometimes just one that would have otherwise hit you being deflected is really, really useful. I'm going to go down and get Yor's spear because I'm kind of tiring of the look I have now, and I'm going to be putting on some other armor, I think, and I'm going to be using Yor's spear. Yor's spear is one of the most unique weapons in the game because it has an amazing moveset. It's part spear. I mean, it says spear, but that's a little misleading. It's part spear, part halberd, part lance, and part twin blade. It's like they mixed all of those things together and to make a really, really interesting weapon. And it scales a B with strength and dex. So you would need a mix of those two things to use it. I think you need 30 strength and 25 dex, or 40 strength and 25. I do need 25 dex because that's I leveled myself up with that as much as I could so I could use it. I checked it. Let's talk to Ornifex. She'll still give us a freebie on this first one. Where's yours? There's Yor's spear. You have to upgrade it to get it to be with strength. We will get that. And let's take a look at her other stuff. She'll sell the Wrathful Axe. That's the axe that Alana, the Baneful Queen, or Squalid Queen. Have I been calling her the Baneful Queen? Mitha is the Baneful Queen. What? I probably made that mistake 100 times. The Butcher's Knife is a very good strength weapon. It's actually a great strength weapon that you can get in Dark Souls 1. You can get it within the first 15 minutes of starting the game. So that's really cool. Sacred Chime Hammer, Iron King, Dragon Slayer Spear. We can get a lot of cool stuff from her later on. Let us beef up Yor's spear just a little bit. In fact, fuck it. Let's beef it up all the way. Who cares, right? There we go. I'm awash in that kind of stuff anyway. So I am now going to return to Majula, spend some of these souls, and then I think show you the entrance to the next area of the regular game proper, which is Aldia's Keep. Aldia's Keep is a great area of the game. It has a really cool atmosphere to it. I really, really like it. And it was another area they did sort of well. They did an okay job with it because they could have done so much better. So, you know, part of it is okay. It really doesn't have the feeling. Aldia's Manor, it is like a giant country mansion. That's what it feels like. Or I think that's what it's supposed to feel like, but it doesn't quite get that. I think the main reason that I'm getting so upset with a lot of what is in Dark Souls 2 is that I can't really get lost. That's very, very important for me. that I can get lost in the level that I'm playing, that I can just completely lose myself in wherever it happens to be that I'm traveling. Does this look okay? And even in places that I've played considerably... What is that dust coming off of this? Is that supposed to be happening? What is that? Oh, reduces falling damage. I didn't know that. Okay. And even in places that I've played over and over and over again in Dark Souls 1, I can still get lost in them. I can still walk around in them not really certain of where I need to go. And I really, really enjoy that aspect about them. I think that there's something special there where I can walk through an area and not know where I'm going and not know where I've been and do it over and over again. It's very unique and very difficult to do. What sort of helmet am I going to have? Maybe no helmet at all, because this is already pretty darn heavy. In fact, I might have to get a little bit more vitality. Probably not going to be wearing gloves anyway. Vitality. I'll get 2 of those. And the areas in Dark Souls 2 just don't have that feel. They just feel like you're walking from point A to point B. And that's not cool. That's not fun. That's not enjoyable. That's dull. So we can use the Drangleic shield. So I guess I will use that. And you can see this, the moveset of this is so weird. Take a look at this. First it has a lance on the R1, but the follow-up is the Twin Blade move. And something I really like about this, I mentioned before with the, not the Becta Corbon, what do they call it in this game? A Lucerne Hammer. If you run and attack, oh, well, maybe that's just one-handed, hold on. If you run and attack one-handed, it has that overhead smash. I love that. I think that looks really cool. I think I will go in with Vengar. Well, maybe not with Vengar's boots. Let me take a look at some things. Where are the Dring? Oh, the Llewellyn shoes don't look bad with this. Not by a long shot. Maybe I can have a helmet now. But only if it's a cool one. I don't like the Executioner's helm here. It looks a little bit too try-hard to me. Lissy of Lindelt's sainthood looks especially ridiculous. This is supposed... I think this is supposed to be a dragon on the helm, but... Is that what it says? A dragon? But it looks more like a dog to me. So... Can I wear this? I'm exactly at the limit. Okay. With the Imperious helm. Let's head up to Aldia's Keep. We'll be meeting at now, in order to get to Aldia's Keep, you may not have noticed this when you're first playing, because it's kind of confusing where you need to go. You actually need to go all the way back to the Shaded Woods to, if you can see in the background there, you kind of can't, but there's sort of a weird aqueduct there. And go to the Ruined Forked Road. Just like you had to go back to there to get to the castle, you have to go back there to get to Aldia's Keep. And this is a really cool area, and I really liked it. And I thought it was especially interesting, the way that they did this. And... I'm just deciding something. I might want to go do something before I go into Aldia's Keep. But... no, screw it, I can do it up there. Anyway, let's head in here. This contains the red Tearstone ring. You can pick it up very quickly when you come in here, but I don't bother because it's kind of a useless ring. I'm just going to run over here and grab it. This doesn't poison you, by the way. It's just sort of muck. And of course we have to put on the King's Ring that we got after we defeated Belstad. And with the King's Ring, we can open up those pesky Produce a Sela, symbol of the king, doors. Now these doors, why you have to actually put on the ring? Because the ring itself is useless. I think it, like, slightly reduces fire damage or some nonsense like that. Something like that. I think it might do something, but ultimately it's pointless. You should just be able to walk up to it as long as it's in your inventory. What's the point? And it'll close behind us when it's done. You just need to put it on for a second and wait for it to start opening. Then you can immediately take it off and replace it. Now, unfortunately, down here, we're going to be running into some of those pesky those pesky toxic rats that we ran into way back in the Doors of Pharos. However, these are not toxic rats. They are much more serious petrification rats that are going to instantly kill us if we let their thing build up. So you really should come in here with a bow, and without one, petrified dragon bow. It's not recommended. Fortunately, I have a +10 bow. I can pretty much one-shot them at this point. But I actually don't mind if I die here, because I will need to do that before we get in there. In fact, I probably need to return to Majula in order to do a few things. Come on. Don't delay the inevitable. There we go. I'm going to get this bonfire in here. Then we can talk to Lucatiel, but there's also a mimic nearby with some very cool stuff in there that we need to relieve of its life. Hopefully. I hope I can do this. I'm not too comfortable with this weapon, remember, but thankfully it would serve me well. We got the Sunset Staff. That's the hexing staff you can get from Felkin very early in the game. It's a great staff for hexers. A poison throwing knife. We also got a cool helmet that is a skull face, the Dark Mask. It was actually pretty difficult to get this helmet in Dark Souls 1 because you had to join a covenant in order to do it, but well, they kind of cheapened it up here, which is not that terrible, because it is really cool that you can get it. Now let us see if we have successfully fulfilled Lucatiel's storyline. Black Knight Halberd you can get? From one of the dogs? Okay, whatever. But I'm pretty sure that we did not fulfill her quest line, which is unfortunate because that means that we have to kill her, which I don't want to do, but we're going to be doing it anyway. Sorry, Lucatiel.
Who are you? Oh, no, forgive me. I know you. Yes, of course. How goes your journey? I know not what you seek in this faraway land, but I pray for your safety. My name is Lucatiel. I beg of you, remember my name, for I may not myself. My name...
Fluxile Sentry, that's really unfortunate, because I've actually kept her alive for the past couple of playthroughs. I'm sorry to do this, but in order to get her stuff, we now have to kill her. Which I don't want to do, but in fact, I'm going to switch over to the club. That's going to be a little easier, because I do want to get that stuff. Look, just give me your stuff, and we don't have to make it like this. I'm so sad about this. I love Lucatiel, but, you know, we're going to see her again in New Game Plus, so I'll see you then, honey. I feel so bad about this, I really do. We will be finding out the reason why Lucatiel, and we can get her mask, which is that neat hat she wears. We'll be finding out in a moment why Lucatiel was unable to continue on with her quest in Drang Lake. You know, she made it incredibly far. If you can make it all the way to Aldia's Keep, That's like 80% of the game, so she made it a hell of a lot. She made it pretty damn far in this game. But there was something that unfortunately she was not able to cope with that she found out about when she came here. And that is something to do with a relative of hers we're going to be seeing later. Now, let us put back Jorg's spear back on here. And now that she is dead, we can go to Melentia and buy her stuff. I don't think this stuff would be here without us killing her. I don't think so. I'm not certain about that. I have to look that up, but I think you do have to murder her in order to get her stuff. If we did her questline correctly, then we would not have to do this. We would just be able to have her give us the stuff there. But like I said, I think it wasn't Flexile Sentry. Oh, that's right. You see, she fell to her death on the bridge on the way to wherever it was, the Lost Sinner. That's what it was. So I don't even care that I didn't do it right, because I didn't do anything wrong, okay? The frickin' game screwed up, and I should not have to walk her across that damn bridge, and her AI should not make her, like, sort of jump back every now and again and attack as if I'm the enemy, you know? But anyway, you notice I just jumped off the cliff there to die. We have to be hollow in order to do something very interesting in the next area, and also we have a use for buying... Is this enough? Maybe? Yes, it is. The Ladder Miniature from Gilligan, this jerk that I hate. Don't hate me, you dick. Yeah, let's take a look in here. And you'll notice here, this is great.
Sorry, have we met? Oh, sorry. It's just I've been awfully busy lately. Care to look over my wares? Please, be my guest. I upgraded my stock recently, although it may be a bit out of your reach.
Look how smug he became. Remember his stuttering and his, oh, I can't do anything, blah, 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 when he started out here. And now he doesn't even recognize us. Wonderful. And he has an expanded inventory set. If you get him to a certain point, I forget how much, he will start carrying the Alva armor, which looks pretty damn cool and has some pretty good defense. But we don't need to do that right now. We need to go back and speak with a crazy person and kill someone. Now, the reason that Lucatiel was unable to complete her little quest is that, unfortunately, her brother that she mentioned before is actually here in Drang Lake, and he is also undead, and he attacks and tries to murder anyone that enters into Albia's keep. That's very sad for poor Lucatiel. There's also a fire seed that we can pick up over here. See, that's that aqueduct over there, and I really love this area. I think it looks so cool with that aqueduct there, because I love classical history, and it just looks amazing to me. Let's get, oh wait, did we get that? Did we get the fire? There was a fire seed here, right? I think we might have gotten it already. And I love the way this place looks. I love the idea of a decaying manse somewhere out in, somewhere in the ruins, in a rural area. I think that looks really cool. I love the fountain here. This whole area looks amazing. Unfortunately, the level design should have been like a weird mansion that you could constantly get lost in with all sorts of twists and turns and tons of little rooms and things like that. But on the outside, it does look amazing. And just this atmosphere is great to me. We're going to be invaded the instant we enter. There we go. That is Aslatiel of Mira, Lucatiel's brother. And I just remembered something at the last second. He is not usually too difficult to take out unfortunately. Kind of makes me question the worth of the Mirrah Knights, if this guy is so easy to defeat. And nothing. The reason I put on the covetous gold serpent ring there is that occasionally he can drop his sword, which is identical to the Mirrah sword, which I don't think I bought from Malentia because I don't think I had the money. But it's a really cool weapon, and if you want to do a sort of dual Mirrah greatsword thing, you can do that by getting those two. Unless you have to wait until New Game Plus and kill Lucatiel. This was a part in the demo that everyone saw. I love those rafters up there. You can see the sky through it. It really makes it seem like decay. And this was an area that we all saw in demo trailers for the game. And this giant skeleton here is going to come alive and attack us in a second. And hopefully we're not going to die. If you don't want to die, just run like up there. You can immediately run through it. But I'm going to stand out here and just watch it as it comes in, because it's really cool. Shocked that didn't kill me. Like I said, you don't need to stand there and let that happen, but it loses so much of its power because it just disappears. It's like, what? Why? Why are you just disappearing like that, yo? That's not cool.
Well, you're nicely hollowed, aren't you? Are you tormented by memories? Burdened by guilt? Now the question, are you ready for more? If you are, then we ought to talk. This contains my power. Long ago, this naive vessel of mine set about devising new spells. The fool dreamt of bringing new forms of magic into the world. But instead, he created me. Mostly by chance, but he did a fine job, I must say. What he sought was strength, and so I decided to demonstrate. While my vessel slept, I'd find my mark and hunt him down. But my vessel did not approve, and so while I slept, he sealed the both of us away. Now, I don't have anything against humans, but how is it that you go about defining good and evil? I'm only using what the gods gave me. How can that be so wrong? So what say you to a spot of murder on my behalf? If you don't, I'll leave this place and take more lives. Many more. I couldn't give a fig either way, so what's your choice? Yes, I see. How very kind of you. I want you to kill a merchant named Gilligan. A greedy, foul man. He won't be missed, I assure you. Yes, bring me a ladder miniature as proof. Is the only person who'd have such an odd knick-knack.
Next episode, but he unlocks a series of sort of sub-quests that you can do where you murder people and bring stuff to him. However, a lot of the gravitas was taken away of this because you don't have to kill them. There are other ways to get the things that you need to show him. There were other murder requests that you could take in Demon Souls, but you had to actually kill people to do it, not just bring them an item, which you can get other ways. You would just pick up this ladder miniature for a measly 8,000 souls and give it to him, and he does this.
Fine work. This is my thanks. Take it. Now let's discuss our next mark.
You just made it murder. You know, you had to kill people, and that's the end of the story. But unfortunately, you had to go through, you know, they had to make it sort of say, oh, you can kill people, well, maybe you don't have to, well, maybe you can do this, maybe you can do that. They should have just made you had to kill people in order to do these quests. The fact that they half-step it cheapens it out and makes everybody, I mean, there's no reason not to do these quests if you can just go in here without doing anything at all. But anyway, more on that guy next time. Until then, I will see you on the next one. Please have mercy. Have mercy.